I once ruined a date when I punched myself in the face.
David C.
What was the context?
We were doing party tricks, and she was doing all these kind of like... She's double jointed, and she was doing all this...
Can you be careful with this, because you've already admitted you punched yourself in the face.
So she was like, come on then, so what's your party trick? And I was like, well, I can kind of do this punching thing where, like, I don't actually punch myself, but I kind of, like, move with it, you know, like, but I still get the sound. I've got a massive neck.
Yeah. Show us it.
OK, so it's basically like... It was like that. You know? Oh, yeah. It doesn't actually hurt, but...
Wow.
It looks pretty good, right?
Certainly, if you're trying to impress a young lady on a first date, you'd be hard-pushed to find anything better than that.
So, as you can see there, it's not great, and that was the problem. What I did is I kind of, like, forgot to move with it, because that's the whole thing, you move. I clipped my jaw, and the side of my cheek started bleeding. Oh. She didn't realise this, but I could feel the blood filling up in my mouth. So, I went to the toilet, I went, hey, I'll be back in a minute. And then I was in the toilet, and it wasn't stopping. It was, like, my tongue and my mouth, and it was, like, literally pouring out of my mouth. And then I started getting paranoid, because I'm like, I've been in here for a while, she's going to think I'm having a poo.
And there's nothing worse than coming back from the toilet when someone thinks you've had a poo and your mouth's bleeding. It's not a great image, is it?
And yeah, I was in there for at least around 15 minutes. It wasn't stopping. And then I just went home and I turned my phone off and I never saw her again.
You're not serious. Yeah. You walked out of the restaurant.
I left. I couldn't...
How far through the meal were you?
No, I mean, we were just waiting for starters. It was like... Then that's
worse.
Well, so she sat there like this still.
If you're waiting for starters, that means you've ordered the meal, so a bill is coming.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry. I'm really...
Was she in touch with you to ask what happened?
Well, yeah, kind of, but I didn't reply. Shall I punch myself again? I feel like...
Imagine your first date, Victoria. The first time... There must have been the first time when you and David went out together. What was his party trick? What did David do for you?
David went for the more old-school, sort of wit and charm, no, let me get this.
Why? What had you dropped?
Although I was already besotted before we even went on the date. He could have punched himself in the face, I wouldn't mind.
I've actually got the taste of vomit in my mouth.
How does this seem to you?
It seems ungentlemanly.
It is. I'm very ashamed of it, and it was a long time ago. It was around 6 years ago. I would never do that again.
You're so obviously embarrassed about it, I think it must be true.
What do you think?
I think it might well be true as well.
Yeah, I think it's true.
OK, you're saying true.
Yeah.
Asim, was it true or was it a lie?
It was... true.
Yes.
Sorry for you.
I used to vet potential boyfriends by getting them to play me at darts. I could tell more about them in one game than I could on 10 dates.
David.
So, what was it about their darts playing that told you things about their personality?
Stance. It's the sort of liquidity of the way they stand in that position.
The liquidity?
But was this linked to, you thought, their character or their physical prowess, if I can put it that way?
It's character. It was all about the character.
Well, here's the thing, because one of our panellists is quite accomplished at darts.
Oh, yeah.
It's Lee. So, Lee, would you demonstrate?
Yes.
And then we could ask Joanna to analyse and come to her own conclusions.
You're good at darts?
I've been known to do double tops, I think you know what I'm saying. So what I tend to do is I tend to go like this. That's the line. And then I'll take my dart.
Where's the board, sorry?
That's a good question. That's what I was thinking. That's the first thing I'd do is I'd go, hang on, there's no board. Because I know what I'm doing. And then I would take the dart, I will lean forward with all the weight on the right leg, keeping it straight, of course. I'm not an idiot. I'll then raise the hand, the little finger, note the little finger is in the air. It's weight. If I put it down, I will fall to the left. I have to ballast myself with the finger out. And I'd go like that. Might give a cheeky wiggle of the bottom to the lady watching. And then... Oh, he's only got an 180 again. I'm going to collect the things. I'm so proud. I'll probably moonwalk to the board. Oh, Christ. I didn't know about that. Usually, ockies are straight. And then I would grab the darts like that. And go, they're for you, princess. That's how I roll.
Now then, you've seen a fulsome display. So what judgments, what conclusions would you have come to about Lee from that?
You all saw it. There's evidence there of the kind of... It's about a certain sort of flow.
Yes.
And I think Lee gives quite a good impression of being a bit of a moron.
It's true, he does.
But,
he does.
But what I think that belies is the fact that underneath it he is a bit of a kind old softie.
Yay! Yay!
And that's kind of what I'm looking for.
So, David, what do you think?
Kirsty, what do you think?
I would tend to think it's true.
Craig?
Yeah, I sort of think the same.
Can I say I'm sort of 70%? I'm not 100%.
What percent are you?
50.
You're 50.
Well, the thing is, it could be either, that's the thing.
Well, that...
I know! True. True. OK, so, Joanna, truth or lie?
In fact, it is a lie.
After dating a boy for just a week, I got a tattoo of his initials. 1 week later, we split up.
David's team. Oh.
What were his initials?
AP.
AP.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd only known him for a week when you decided to get inked.
Yeah. You only live once. You know, it actually happened when we went on holiday, that's why. You know, we went somewhere, got quite drunk. You know, you're in love, that romance. It was a moment of, like, let's just do it.
Do you still have the tattoo now?
No, I got it removed.
Whereabouts was it?
It was on my bum cheek, actually. The thing is with my generation, though, talking about my generation, we had this thing called dating. So you date for like a year, or date for a year or two, right?
You do know that the previous generation had dating. That's how you were born.
Yeah, but back in your day, it's very like girlfriend, boyfriend.
I mean, no disrespect, Giles, but I'm not his generation.
From Tasha's vantage point, we're all the same. Us lot, Charles Dickens, William the Conqueror.
So back in the day, you know, I feel like you'd get the ladies up and dance, you'd write letters, like it was very...
Well, of course, you know, you'd arrive in a carriage.
Exactly.
You'd produce your quill.
You wear ball gowns, like
exactly.
that era.
Yeah, offer your sword.
Do the curtsy to each other.
Back in the early 90s, that's how it was.
So how is it different for your generation? Is it just online? Are you just Snapchatting each other?
Snapchatting? Do you Snapchat?
I
even use Snapchat.
I mean WhatsApping. Yeah. I mean tweeting.
Rob.
Tweeting.
Xing. You're Xing each other.
Stop using words you don't understand.
MySpace.
Does he have your initials?
No.
So you said a week ago we went official. I think it's going very well. I'm going to get a tattoo of your initials on my buttock. And he went, OK, go ahead then. I might buy a postcard.
Well, that's what happens when you're in love. When you're in love, you do silly things, right?
Yeah. It's time to decide. What do you think? Was that all true?
Do you think it's true, Will?
I think it's true. And I can see that sort of going on holiday, caught up in the sun and sangria.
So loved up.
Oh, I thought we might go true.
I'm going to go true.
Are you going to say it's true? OK.
Yes.
Tasha, they're saying they think it's true. Was it true or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
No.
I was once investigated by Interpol after a holiday romance with a water skiing instructor.
Lee's team.
Where was he a water skiing instructor?
Corfu.
What part of your life was this? What year was it, let's say?
I don't really remember, but I would guess at mid-20s.
The 1920s?
I was young enough to go away with my parents. I was on holiday with my parents.
So what was his name?
Fanos.
Fanos? I'll tell you why I was already doubting that. You just happened to look around the studio and there's a fan over there. I'm thinking that his name could have been Camera Os, Audience Os. So when did Interpol get involved?
There was a burglary from one of the hotel rooms and some money was
How much money was
stolen.
taken, do we know?
£75,000.
What?
Oh, wow.
75,000?
What kind of worth?
£75,000 worth of money? £75,000, isn't it?
Of jewellery. They thought that at the airport, when we were waving goodbye, he had passed me the goods. They were suggesting I was some kind of donkey.
I think it's a mule, isn't it? Not a donkey.
Is it?
And so when did Interpol get involved? When you were back home?
Yes. I was playing a record in my flat and I left to go and get something from the shops and I heard the record coming out of a van outside my flat.
Have I had a blackout because I don't know what's going on now? Is it just me? Is it just me that's not following?
Fay means...
What do you mean?
I think she means that Interpol had bugged your flat and you heard a recording of the inside of your flat from the Interpol van.
Do you know Fanos? They're all over this story.
What was the song?
It was a Barbra Streisand song. It's from Yentl. It didn't do very well.
What was the song?
Papa, can you hear me?
Oh, a lovely tune,
yeah, you
that
love
one.
it.
That's
I don't know.
lovely.
But not on Yentl.
It so is.
It certainly is.
That was a test.
You hear the Barbara. How do you know that they're Interpol?
So I was just paranoid. I couldn't understand it. But when my dad rang me
Yes?
to say, I think you're being followed by Interpol...
Oh, OK. What on earth made him think that?
Because some bloke he knows tipped him off.
Some bloke he knows tipped him off about Interpol? What line of work is your dad in?
He's a businessman.
Oh, he sounds suspicious,
It's a bit vague, isn't it?
Yeah, the talented Mr. Ripley.
From what you know about Fanos...
He's not a real person, so it's OK.
Do you think he was capable of committing that kind of heinous crime?
Well, I suppose I loved him. He was...
Can you describe the moment when you realised you were in love with him?
When he gave me £75,000 worth of jewellery.
So what are you thinking?
There's an essence of truth for me.
What, that she once went on holiday?
I think that Fay is lying. From the start, she looked like she was riffing it, and then very quickly had the look in her eyes of someone who's out of their depth.
I think it's a lie. You say it's a lie. You think it's
a
true.
lie.
Yeah, you do this.
Well, it's a lie. It's
You're going to
nonsense.
say it's a lie? All right,
nonsense.
Fay Ripley, holiday romance, Interpol. Truth or lie?
It is true.
Once, while trying to impress a date, I landed flat on my back in a flower bed.
David's team.
What were you doing to try and be impressive?
It was actually leaving the date.
Oh.
I accidentally left from a great height.
When you said that, I thought, like, being on your back was what you were doing to impress them. Like,
No, I'm
getting
not
on
that
your
kind
back.
of girl, Laura.
OK.
Laura, everything isn't Love Island.
I'm confused as to where I am.
Laura, you say you're confused about where you are. Just look to your left. You know you're not on Love Island.
Now, tell me, Maisie, where did this happen?
This was in New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah, I got to know a guy out there, and he asked if I wanted to go back and see his record collection. Behave. We got talking about music, and we went back to his house to listen to records. But he tried to play guitar along to the record.
He sounds like an awful human being.
So I decided I'm gonna head off.
Was that the difference between fancying him and not? The fact that
when
he
he
got the
played guitar
out?
along to the record.
You would not like to go around to his house.
So I called a taxi and sat on. I was perched on the window with the window open. And I thought, it's arrived, it's outside. And I went, thanks very much, see you later. And because I thought we were on the ground floor, I thought I'd just swing my legs over the window and run across the lawn.
Which floor were you on, Maisie?
So if the windows...
18th floor. You forgot the 19 minutes going up in a lift. No, see, one floor up.
What? One floor, but I just forgot that. We've been
climbed
chatting
the
for a while.
steps in a state of high arousal and therefore forgotten about them. Is that right?
You should write erotica.
Who's to say I don't? I have many names online.
50 Shirts of Grey. That's what you want to do.
So I got a text saying your Uber's outside. I said, see you later then, and sort of twirled round, and at that moment I clocked out it was not on the ground floor.
You fell an entire story.
Or she made up a whole story.
What happens once you leave the window ledge and you're in the air?
I just remember landing on the small of my back because I was so winded I couldn't speak, and he appeared out of the window and was like, oh, blimey, why'd you jump out the window?
Now again in a New Zealand accent.
And so then I had to commando crawl across the garden with him watching from above.
Was he still playing the guitar? And what was the taxi driver doing? He must have seen this.
He didn't do anything. He just wound down the window and was like, just so you know, the meter's running.
All right, David's team, what are you thinking?
The mechanics of the situation doesn't add up for me, so lie.
Laura?
I just don't know why you didn't land on your face. I don't get why you landed on your back. And that's the reason why I think it's a lie.
You see, I think it's true.
Do you?
Interesting.
But if my teammates say it's a lie, we'll go lie.
Maisie, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
That was true.
Well done.
So please welcome this week's special guest, Zade. I must play Super Mario again. So, Joel, what is Zade to you?
Oh, this is Zade. He came to my wedding, and when he started dancing, my mum started crying.
Joel's wedding wrecker. AJ, how do you know Zade?
So this is Zade, and I had to cut short our only date because he insisted on riding a penny farthing.
AJ's disappointing date, and finally, David. What is your relationship with Zade?
This is Zade. After being splashed by a transit van, I wore his trousers to a book signing.
Please, team, where to begin?
Joel, when was your wedding?
It was in Mykonos.
Did I say when or where?
I said when.
When was your wedding?
Mykonos. When was it? Last September.
Last September. What was it about his dance that made your mum cry?
Well, I say dancing, it was moshing.
Was he the only one moshing?
He wasn't. Other people joined in with the moshing, and my mum thought they were fighting, and so
I see. Yeah. What was the music that was playing?
It was Papa Roach, Last Resort.
We have a sound team on this show that are pretty adequate. I think, even as we've been speaking, they've probably been searching... What was it called?
Papa Roach, Last Resort.
Hit it.
Oh, that actually worked.
Oh, my God.
OK, OK, well, OK, stop that. Why on earth were you playing that at a wedding?
In Mykonos.
Yeah.
Especially given it was the first dance.
So,
It's not very romantic, is it?
Yeah.
This is my last resort.
So we had our first dance, which was to a much more romantic song, and basically we had a party playlist sorted to start immediately after the first dance, and we should have, in hindsight, put it in some sort of order, but we actually just put it on shuffle.
Why didn't you pay for a DJ?
I'll be honest, I don't really understand the difference between a DJ and just, you know, and Spotify.
Well, a DJ will feel the room. When you're DJing, David, you've told me it's about a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you told me you sense the room.
My primary thought is fire safety.
So, when your mum saw him moshing,
Yeah.
did she cry because of him or the general chaos?
I think my mum was crying with the general chaos, really, because everyone's just started moshing away. Then my mum was like, oh, my God, it's a fight. And my dad was like, oh, my God, it's a fight. And...
Have we found out yet how he knows Zade?
He goes to the gym that I used to go to.
And that's why you invited him to your wedding?
Yeah.
Did you invite all your gym people to your wedding?
Yeah, two gym people. There was only 29 people at the wedding, so I just
And
did...
two of them were randos from the gym?
Yeah. It's quite a bold move, isn't it, to go up to a strapping, muscly man and going, hiya, you ever been to Mykonos?
No, who would you like to quiz next?
AJ.
Right. Now, remind us, AJ, of the connection.
I had to cut short our date because he insisted on riding a penny farthing.
Did you meet him or did he come pick you up for the date?
No, we met.
And he was there on this bike. You were like, hey, Zade, how are you?
No, well, basically, we met in a bar. I had arrived before him, which was already annoying because I'm meant to arrive late, not you.
Yeah, come on, Zade. Did you ask him why he was late?
No.
And he said, well, have a look at my bike. You'll see why.
I just didn't know anything about the penny farthing at all. We was having a lovely time on the day, and so he was like, right, should we move on to the next place? We were like, whilst we were talking, he did say that he had a penny farthing, and I just thought he was joking. And then I get outside, and he's unchaining it, and I was like, oh, you wasn't joking.
So why did you cut the date short, though?
I did actually go on to the next place. However, at the next venue, didn't find a pole to chain his penny farthing to. So, whilst we're sat at the bar, he keeps looking out the window, looking after this penny farthing.
I mean, it's one thing looking at other women on a date, but looking at a rusty old bike, that's too much, isn't it?
I'm not being funny, but it actually was.
Can I ask, AJ, is the big wheel at the front or the back?
I think it's at the front. I don't know.
So how did he get on it?
I don't... But him.
How did he get on the bike?
I didn't get on the bike.
I know you
Trust
didn't.
me, I did not get on that bike.
Yeah. Well, you've had enough thinking time now. How did he get on the bike?
You just, like, got on it.
Right, you've explained it now, thank you. In the pub, your only objection was that he was looking out for his... I presume it's an antique bike.
Listen, I don't know where he got the bike from, whether he got it from Halfords or the Antiques Roadshow. All I know...
One of the two.
I mean, you sounded to me like someone who's quite hard work on a date, if you don't mind me saying. I understand now why he brought along his plastic screen so he didn't have to listen to it.
How did you cut it short? What did you say?
Basically...
On your bike.
All right. David, remind us of how it is that you know Zade.
He let me wear his trousers after I'd been splashed by a transit van and I had to go to a book signing.
Where were you?
On my way to Foyle's bookshop in London.
And where was Zade?
He worked at the bookshop.
Was Zade a humble assistant? Was he head of foils? What was he?
I'd be surprised if he was the chief executive of the company, but he worked in the bookshop.
So you get into the shop. Now, are these sort of khaki slacks? In which case, the stainage, if we can call it that, in your front trouser area is all the more alarming and does hint at perhaps problems of a urological type.
He's asking, did it look like you'd wet yourself?
It certainly might have done. Although, to be honest, my trousers were so wet, people would have admired me if they thought I could generate that amount of urine.
Did he offer his trousers, or was he forced by someone higher up the chain to strip off and give them to TV's David Mitchell?
He offered them. I came into the shop sort of in a squelch, sort of walking, and this signing was starting in a few minutes, and I was embarrassed by my appearance, if you can imagine such a thing.
And were the three fans staring at you or were they looking the other way at this point? Were they?
There was quite a considerable queue of, you know...
For the toilet, so you couldn't use that.
And Zade was there representing the bookshop to say, oh, you're here for the signing of your book. And it's a brilliant book, he said.
So he says to you, why don't you use my trousers?
He had some spare trousers with him.
Oh, he had spare ones? Yeah. I mean, how funny is your book?
But why did he have spare trousers?
Because he was going to the gym, where, you know, you meet people at the gym, don't you? He was... they were like jogging bottoms.
So you did the book signing in jogging bottoms?
I did
Would it not been more appropriate for him to wear the jogging bottoms and you to wear his trousers?
I felt that to suggest that would be a bit personal, and I didn't particularly... I thought, why not a pair of trousers that neither of us have worn that day?
Yeah, but it's an odd look, isn't it? Because I can imagine you turning up for a book signing, you've got your little checkered shirt on, your dicky bow, your little fez, and then you've got your tracksuit bottoms, and it's all tucked in to the... Hello, I want me to sign that.
Obviously, with a book signing, you're sitting at a table, your legs aren't that visible.
Where in the shop did you go to change? Which section?
Please don't say the children's section.
In the back room, in the stock room area.
Right, and then at the end of the... After you'd signed your 3 books, she said, thanks for coming, Mum, thanks for coming, Dad. And then... And did you then... He liked that one, and he's not allowed to laugh. Did you then give him his trousers back, or did he say, oh, just take them, you can have them?
I gave him his trousers back.
What month were you going to Foyles?
It was November.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that does check out.
Well done, David. It could have rained in November.
Fortunately, I didn't pick one of those months where it never rains in Britain.
OK, Lee's team. Is Zade Joel's wedding wrecker, AJ's disappointing date, or David's legwear lender?
They're all implausible, aren't they?
Well, Joel's is implausible.
You don't think Joel?
The whole, I invited 2 random guys from my gym. These 2, I buy the dating thing big time, but I think that's a personal bias, yeah.
I think I buy it big time as well.
I mean, if I was on a date and some guy was looking at his vehicle and not me, he's out. And then if the vehicle was a penny farthing, I'd be like, God, what a lunatic I picked up on the internet.
They just seem different types. I mean, it just doesn't ring true.
You don't know my type.
I do. I've tried ringing you many times and you never pick up.
So, Alex, if you had to plump for one of these...
Which I do.
Who would it be?
It would be AJ. Because I don't think people do get splashed by transit vans and puddles in real life.
You think it's AJ? You think it's AJ? It's AJ.
OK, Zade, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Zade, and my dancing made Joel's mum cry.
Zade is Joel's wedding wrecker. Thank you very much, Zade.